Hi, I'm Brandon McCoy, and I am part of Roundhouse Theater's education team with today's Theater Challenge for Teens. Today's challenge is going to focus on creative problem solving and acting. We are going to be joined by two very special guests in just a matter of moments. These are two former students of mine that I just think the world of, and they are going to participate in an exercise that I challenge you in your home to do. We're going to work on something called a neutral scene. Now, in the Zoom conversation that you're about to see, we'll explain what a neutral scene is. What I challenge you to do is to take that scene, write it out for yourself, and try it out with folks in your house. And then, after you complete this creative exercise, I'd like you to reflect forward on how that critical thinking and creative problem solving might be useful to you, both as an actor and just as a tool that you can use in your everyday life. Let's see what kind of theater we can create. Okay, everybody, I am here with two of my very favorite students, and they are members of the most recent teen performance company. But I'll allow them to introduce themselves. You, sir?
Hi, I'm Miles Solomon. I'm a senior at Springbrook High School, and I'll be attending NYU's School of the Arts for acting in the fall.
My name's Abigail Cannon. I'm a homeschooled senior, and I will be going to Washington University in St. Louis for environmental science and Italian.
So the wonderful thing about acting is that it teaches us some fundamental skills that we can use in our everyday lives. And so now that we're in quarantine, this is a good opportunity for you to take an exercise that we do in acting classes and try it out with your folks to see how you all can work together on a creative project and make decisions. And then you can talk about how those skills might lend themselves to other areas of your life. So this is a neutral scene. We have character A and we have character B. I'm going to have my two actors read this neutrally. Begin.
What?
Nothing.
Did you?
I did. Did you?
Not yet.
What?
Nothing.
What's next?
You tell me.
Okay.
Now, these are called neutral scenes or A-B scenes or contentless scenes because they are without content. They're also mostly without punctuation. So this gives the actor the opportunity to make this scene into whatever they want to make it. But, Miles, what is it that this scene is missing?
Given circumstances.
Right. So the actor can't start making choices until they have some sense of the context. But because there is no context, it's up to the actor to choose the context. So like, for example, Abigail, what are some things that we could decide upon in order for the actor to be able to flesh out this scene?
Well, a couple things we can decide on are, for example, the setting where they are during the scene. Another thing is the relationship that the two characters have. And also what happened right before this scene. That's also pretty important.
Great. Relationship, how these two characters relate to each other, even if they're complete strangers, that in and of itself is a relationship. The setting is going to dictate largely how this scene needs to be performed. And the moment before, or the reason why this scene is happening right now. So we talked about this a little bit before, and we came up with some scenarios. So, Miles, what's the first relationship that we're going to try?
Best friends.
Great. And classmates.
Yeah.
And what was the moment before, Abigail?
The moment before was one of them realized that the other one hadn't completed an assignment, a major assignment that was due.
That's right. And since we're doing this over Zoom, we're going to embrace the Zoom and say that this conversation actually takes place over Zoom. Now, remember how they read that scene neutrally? Now that we've made these decisions, these actors can start to make character choices. So here is the neutral scene with those choices in mind.
What?
Nothing.
Did you?
I did. Did you?
Not yet.
What?
Nothing.
Okay, what's next?
You tell me.
Okay.
Now, we didn't spend a whole lot of time on this before we started recording. We just threw some ideas out there, and then we ran through it one time to see if it made a plausible story, and it did. And you can do that as well. So let's do the exact same scene, but let's do it under a different set of given circumstances. So, Abigail, what can we do this time?
This time we are secret agents.
Lovely. And where's this going to take place, Miles?
In a dark alley.
Uh-huh. And the moment before is that they had a mission that they were working on together that they needed to complete. All right, let's see how that turns out.
What?
Nothing.
Did you?
I did. Did you?
Not yet.
What?
Nothing.
What's next?
You tell me.
Okay.
It's like I'm watching Denzel Washington and Meryl Streep. Seriously, that's really good. And think about all the story that lies beneath the surface there. And all it took was creating given circumstances. Now, as we flesh out scenes, actors need to be able to identify playable actions. And how do they do that? What are the 3 things that we need to find? Give me one, Miles.
An objective.
An objective. An objective is a goal, a want, or a need. But in order for it to be a story, there has to be some sort of incident of some kind, right, Abigail? What do we call that?
Obstacles.
Obstacle, which is also known as conflict. And playable action comes out of what, Miles?
Tactics.
Tactic, which is the strategy that we use to overcome the obstacle and achieve our objective. Take a bow. Take a virtual bow. Yes. It's awkward bowing on Zoom.
It is.
It's like we're bowing for the queen. Hey, thank you all for doing this. I really appreciate it. All right, now it's your turn. I challenge you to go back in the video and write out for yourself the text of that neutral scene and try it out in your home with people in your family and see what kind of stories that you can create. It's amazing how little tiny differences and details in the choices you make in creative given circumstances can create a completely different story. It's a really important lesson for actors to learn, that given circumstances give us the framework to create playable action, which then conveys a story to an audience. And I mentioned this creative exercise is going to be useful to you in other aspects of your life. I know that as a parent of a very young child, most of the issues I deal with on a daily basis require me to think creatively in order to find a solution. And I'll bet that you will find that this exercise gives you great practice that you can apply in other aspects of your life. Okay, so it is your turn. I challenge you to do this week's challenge, and if you would like, you can share it with us using the hashtag RHTeenChallenge or email it to education@roundhousetheater.org. I'd love to see some of these neutral scenes to see how different they can be from each other. Make sure to follow Roundhouse on social media and tag us in the post because we're going to be featuring some of our favorite submissions on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. See you next time.